It's an honor to have with us Congressman Mark Takano. He is the congressman for California District 41. He's always been a friend and a voice for the Muslim community. This specific day today, which is a big day in Washington, he chose to be with us, with the Muslim community here. And we thank him for this. So please, just have patience, sit for a few minutes, and share the thoughts on this, what Mr. Takano, Mr. Mark will share with us. Shukran. Welcome, Mr. Congressman.
Thank you, thank you, Mustapha, for such a wonderful sermon. I'll be very brief. I know that you are taking time out of your day for the midday prayer, let me say that I decided to stay away from Washington and not join in the motions of ceremony, because I did not believe the transfer of power, although it was a peaceful transfer of power in our nation and our democratic nation's traditions. I could not pretend it was a normal transition of power. That I have many anxieties as your representative in Washington about the direction that this new president is going. And he talked about returning power to the people. I have my doubts about that is what he's really doing. I know that I needed to be with my people today, and you are the people I represent. And I know you to be a good community, a faithful community. And I share the solidarity of what it means to be a Muslim, as stated by Mustapha today in his sermon, to carry in my heart what is right and to want to right or wrong, to speak out when I see a wrong, and to act to right a wrong. Those who want to portray the Muslim religion as a different sort of religion, that it has some sort of pathology, that is a wrong that I must speak out against. That is a wrong that I will act out against. That is a wrong that I in my heart will reject. And so know that I, as your representative, am proud that we have a mosque in this community, and that I'm proud to have a community of not only good Muslims, but good Muslim Americans, good Americans. And that you believe in a country where you can practice your faith freely, without discrimination. Let me briefly tell you maybe one story that might help us prepare for a hardship so that there may be ease. Even as my parents and grandparents and all Japanese Americans during World War II were tasked with collective guilt. Collective guilt. There was not one case of espionage proven against any Japanese immigrant or American-born Japanese here. A whole category of people was arrested and incarcerated solely on one characteristic, their race, much as some people want to characterize all Muslims in the same way. Even as my grandmother and grandfather could not work their property in Washington State, I had 3 great uncles step forward and serve in the U.S. military, much as the son of Khizr Khan did the same. And one of my great uncles, like Khizr Khan's son, gave his life just before World War II ended. I think how poignant that was, that there were young Japanese Americans willing to fight for a country that was not fully treating them fairly. And they were fighting for an idea that they felt was the most possible place in the world was this country for that idea to be realized, which was freedom and equality for everyone. And Mustapha talked about the duty and the responsibility of a Muslim to treat everyone fairly. I believe you are in this country because you believe in your hearts that this is a country where those ideals are the most fully developed and most possible to be realized. And that we will face a trial of our own faith in this country, even as we have leaders who make us doubt that this country's ideals are being lived up to, that we have much to fight for, and that we fight for is to keep this country on a pathway forward. Martin Luther King, once American Christian minister, said that in the moral universe, the arc of history bends toward justice. Well, we know that the arc of history is not on autopilot. It is not on cruise control. It is we collectively who must make sure that history bends toward justice, to carry in our hearts, to do as we speak, and to act to make history go in the direction of justice. So I stand with you here today, and I am very pleased to be with you here today. Let us go in peace, but let us go with conviction and determination to keep our country a country of freedom and equality, and to live the ideals professed by your faith and the ideals that we share as Americans. So thank you very much.
I want to thank you, Congressman, for his sharing with us his thoughts and being here with us today.